Hey everyone, Justin Russell with RussellMarineProducts.com here to talk about our Minn Kota Talon rear anchor light. This is a product that we developed for 10 and 12 foot Minn Kota Talons. Now what this is an LED rear anchor light that replaces the top cap of the Minn Kota Talon, so that way when you jump in your boat and you hit your nav light switch, you have an LED light in the back permanently attached to the boats at all times. You've got your front LED lights hopefully up front if you've got a newer boat, so you never have to mess with the rear anchor light whatsoever. So we're going to start the install process on here. First thing we're going to need is a Phillips #2 screwdriver. We're going to take the top cap off. There's 4 screws that hold that in place. So we're going to start with that at the very top of the Talon here. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough for you guys. It's pouring down rain outside if you can't hear it, but metal building doesn't really help. But just taking the 4 screws right off the top of the Talon base here, or excuse me, the top. Don't lose these screws, you will reuse them. Now our Minn Kota Talon rear anchor light is going to fit just on top, same style, same shape base. That's what we've got currently here with this cap. So I'm going to take this cap off. You can either put it somewhere in your garage if you're a hoarder, throw it away. Or for you guys that trade up boats and want to keep your rear anchor light for some weird reason, you can put the cap back on and take your rear anchor light off, put it on the next one. So got our cap off, got our 4 screws. For you guys that wanted to see the inner workings of a Minn Kota Talon, there's the top with the pulley system and the cables, kind of cool. Now this is our power wire. It's a lot thicker than what's necessary, but I wanted to try to match up to the power wire that runs on the starboard side here. So what we're going to do is we're going to run ours down through the port side right here. So just going to run our wire right through here, put the cap on, everything's on tight. Now we're going to put those 4 screws on there and screw that base down. All right, next we're gonna have to take the port side panel off of our Minn Kota Talon. Now this here has no wires running to it, no cabling system either, just a pretty cover. Make sure again, do not lose these screws, because we've got 4 plastic screws and 2 machine metal screws, so make sure we don't lose these here. And all we're doing this for is being able to allow us to run our wire into the back here. So it's all nice and pretty, we don't have anything sticking out. Try not to lose these, but I have a feeling I may drop one of them with all of them here on the side. That's one of our machine screws. Didn't drop any. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push our wire in our slots. Now the important thing about this wire, and this is very important, There are a couple machine screws that hold this pulley system in place. So when we put our plastic cap on, we want to make sure our wire goes into the back of the channel so it's out of the way, and we'll make sure we get that thing flush in there. And the plastic pieces where the bolts actually go through, or the screws go through to hold it in place, will actually keep that wire in place. So there's no movement, no rubbing from the wire, okay guys? So we're gonna replace the cap, and I will use the same screwdriver. Some guys may want to use a flathead screwdriver. The whole key of what I'm looking at doing here is moving the wire out of the way. So once we get everything in place here, we can get it to go flat. All right. Now we'll put our screws back in. And tighten down. And as you can see, guys, for your do-it-yourselfers, this is a very, very simple process. We didn't want this to be too complicated. Something guys could do at their house easily within 10-15 minutes, especially for the guys that aren't experienced. The most difficult part of this is going to be the wiring, but again, not really difficult at all. These Minn Kota rear anchor light that we've got these plastic keepers. What you do, you put those in. I'll grab a pair of pliers. All this is going to do is help keep our cable, again, very nice and neatly where we want it to be kept, okay? So rotate those. Those are our wire keepers. Boom, in place. Wires in there, can't come out, can't get loose. Now we're going to trace this into the boat. We're going to run it back through the rigging sleeve. Again, factory rigging sleeve on the boat. Now, some of you may have power poles. We've got a light that'll work for you. For the other guys running the Talons that come through separate of a separate rigging sleeve, it may be like a chrome clamshell. Loosen the clamshell up. We're just gaining entry into the boat here. We'll push that wire in. And the final process of everything, guys, we will come back through and zip tie these wires up. That way they're nice and neat. So we'll get some zip ties and kind of follow the same contouring of the wiring and stuff. So now we're going to gain access to our rear anchor light here. Now these are going to have two wires, a black and a white wire. These ones happen to be really tight, so I got to reach in here and actually cut these. All right. Undo the screws on the top of this. Now we're going to reach in the very back here, make sure we can feed our wire up and in so we have the opportunity to be able to splice everything together. So let me reach in here, feel our wiring. Out here, feed it up through here. Alright. Now how we're going to wire this is I like to be able to set it up to where we can still use the rear anchor light if necessary. Some guys prefer it. So there's two ways you can do it. You can completely eliminate it, put it back in place, and you got something pretty there, or you can make it useful. So why not just make it useful? There's our wires coming in off that. All right, now we got our wires run through. We have everything cut. What we're going to do is we're going to tie the black wires together. So we're going to twist these two wires around each other. We're going to put on a wire connector here. These two together. Do a little pull test, make sure they're on there good. Now, the important thing is here to remember that the white coming off the boat is going to be our hot. So the white and red is going to go together. Again, big connector. Now at this point, the light should work. So we're gonna run up, test it out, make sure our wiring is correct. Then we'll complete the installation by re-splicing this wire in and reinstalling this. So as long as the light comes on, we're gonna be ready to rock. Then we'll get everything else finished up, and you can use either the rear nav light through here, that's gonna be automatic when you hit the switch, or still use your pull light like guys have traditionally had for years. So let's turn the main power switch on and see the light. Let there be light. Again, guys, thanks for checking out our video. Gonna have other videos coming out. Again, Minn Kota Talon bolt-on rear anchor light using your factory switch. So check them out, russellmarineproducts.com.